Well, News 4 is the place to be for Nick Wallenda's high wire walk over Niagara Falls.
And the eyes of the world will tune in for this historic event. Wallenda's walk will take him 1,800 feet across the Horseshoe Falls on the evening of June 15th, when he treks from the American side to the Canadian side.
In a story you'll see only on 4, Ed Dranch gets up close and personal with the man who will tempt fate above the thundering falls. Ed.
Jackie and Don, I spent 2 days in Sarasota, Florida with my camera and my microphone in my hand, all to see what it's like to be with the Wallendas. I found out this is truly a family affair.
It is a family thing. There's 14 of us.
But it's tough enough with only 3. Nick and cousin Blake, connected by a pole resting on their shoulders, balancing Nick's mom Delilah on a chair as she goes from sitting to standing and back down.
All right.
All the way in, go.
The Wallendas rely on each other, 12 feet in the air, high above their Sarasota backyard.
We're tightrope walkers. This is our passion. This is what we love to do. And if we can find another unique spot to do it, that's what we're going to do.
Each day, they're out in the yard. Nick's wife practices splits on the fabric rings strung to a tree. The entire family works through new stunts for future road shows. They walk the wire, gripping a 45-pound balancing bar.
But you got to just train to stay as fluid, and it's almost, there's different things like the wire. You want to try and stay as light as you can when you're walking. Like if you look at my feet, they're slowly going down, slowly going up, almost like I'm floating. But in all the balances in the upper body by the in the pole, it's almost like I'm holding, you know, the universe and just trying to balance myself and just fight against it.
You're thinking about what you're doing, you're concentrating on that, and getting to the other side, and the excitement of the crowd and the pleasure of being there.
When you think about it, it's whenever you're up high, everything's at stake, so you want to be as prepared as you can.
And for 24-year-old Blake, this high wire risk has become the high adrenaline pleasure in his life.
You're walking across this wire like it's almost nothing.
Because I do it every day. It's just repetition, and you just want it to feel like it's natural to you.
Blake was trained by cousin Nick and those who've walked before him.
Nicholas, he goes and he slides and puts it right there and then puts it over. My closer uncle, they slap like this and just keep it like that.
But he's only been walking the wire for a mere 5 years.
You never let yourself be scared of anything. I feel that too, because you could psych yourself out, be scared trying something new, or just being in front of people, and then you'll end up making a mistake because you feel that, so you want to fight the fear.
That's exactly what Nick will do walking the mighty Niagara June 15th.
You know, the day of the event, there'll be a lot of anticipation and excitement, for sure. Adrenaline will be pumping, I'm sure. But it's not all that, I'm not all that nervous about it. I respect it, and I realize that it's very serious and it's very dangerous, but I'm not scared of it in any way.
Do you get anxious? Do you get tense? I mean, Nick Wallenda is cool, calm, and collected. Ed Dranch would be flipping out.
No, I think that you will find that I will be talking to you just like this, and I'll say, I'll see you in a bit, and I'll get on the wire and I'll walk.
I would be flipping out. I wasn't brave enough to get on the wire while I was in Florida. Nick's wife, however, told me yesterday at the press conference she would have held my hand. Either way, you can see practice beginning at the Seneca Niagara Casino on May 12th. We'll have much more from Nick Wallenda coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live, Ed Ranch, News 4 at 5.
It's the event of a generation for Niagara Falls, but it's a legacy of many generations for Nick Wallenda. News 4's Ed Dranch reports the daredevil walks in the footsteps of a famous great-grandfather who died following the high aspirations of a centuries-old tradition.
The Wallenda's zest for living life on the line has been passed down from generation to generation, over 200 years. It all started with great-grandfather Carl Wallenda.
Nicholas reminds me a lot of him because he's got that drive of never giving up, and that was the family tradition.
But Carl fell to his death during a high-wire walk in San Juan. All of it was caught on camera. This was March 22nd, 1978. Wallenda was 73 years old.
He would have been fine if he was in my condition. There's no question. He would have grabbed the wire and everything would have been great. But because of his age, because of his physique just at that age, he just didn't have the strength to hold on.
Carl's death was ultimately blamed on faulty rigging. Years later, in his honor and his memory, Nick walks confidently across the wire. It might seem like agony for us. For him, it's just one foot placed in front of the other. It's all in preparation for the daring June 15th walk across the mighty Niagara.
How can you ensure, how do you know that everything will be right and in place the day you walk?
I know what I'm going to experience out there. That's an advantage that he didn't have. And because this is such a big walk, we're just taking those extra precautions. People don't realize how much I'm involved with. I'm involved with every aspect. I'm not just the guy who gets on the wire, but every call with all the engineers I'm on, every call with all the safety people I'm on. I help design the rigging. I help design the safety plan, the rescue plan.
His proud mother, Delilah, perhaps one of Nick's biggest fans.
I think it's awesome. I think it's bringing the two countries together. I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm very excited about it.
But she's also the most fretful.
I know what can go wrong. I don't see anything going wrong, but I always have to be there with him to watch him. I just feel better if I'm there watching him.
The world will be watching Nick on June 15th as he intently gazes straight ahead. But while he was training in Sarasota, Nick seemed a little distracted. And it's not because of the dogs.
Sorry. All right, that was a voicemail. I apologize. This is the mayor of Niagara Falls. Now I'm calling Rose Harvey. I'm on the phone so much that it's so hard. I'll do a run across the wire, of a pyramid, let's say, that we're working on. We'll get across the wire. I'll get on the phone again and write an email, then go back. And it's so hard. I was just telling them it's so hard to focus on practice right now because there's so many other things going on. Here's my lawyer. Hey, man.
Wallenda says Senator George Maziarz has called him at 10:30 at night. The chief of Homeland Security texted him from the governor's office, but it's all got him to where he is today, ready to take on Niagara Falls.
And Nick will be practicing in Niagara Falls beginning on Saturday. That's where he'll practice at the Seneca Niagara Casino. You can watch what goes into what he does to prepare for this death-defying stunt for free. Dates and times are available online at WIVB.com. Just click on the Wallenda Walk tab at the top of the page. Reporting live tonight, Ed Ranch, News 4 at 6.